Hi everyone, welcome to another video here on She's Fit. Do you feel like you're at war with your own weight, where every single calorie seems to turn into fat instantly, no matter how little you eat? What almost no one tells you is that your body isn't trying to sabotage you, it is actually trying to save you from a danger it believes is real. If your weight loss has completely stalled, it's likely not a lack of willpower. It's your survival mechanism that has been triggered, locking down fat-burning mode to protect you. Before we dive in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. And do me a huge favor, smash that like button. It really helps me keep bringing this life-changing content to you. Trust me, here at She's Fit, you're going to discover how to transform your body the right way. So, let's get into it. Before we start, I need to share something that has made all the difference for me. You know those days when you try hard but feel like your body just isn't responding the way it should? Well, I found out that sleep has way more impact on weight loss than I ever imagined. That's when I discovered Sleep Lean, a natural supplement specially designed to help women burn fat while they sleep. Yes, while they sleep. It's not a miracle, of course, but when combined with good nutrition and the right habits, the results are amazing. I personally felt my body lighter, my belly less bloated, and a different kind of energy just within the first few weeks. I'll leave the link here in the description so you can check all the details after the video. Trust me, it was a game changer for me. Now, let's get back to the video content. To understand why your body insists on hoarding fat, we need to take a trip back in time and look at our DNA. Genetically speaking, we are virtually identical to our cave-dwelling ancestors, where food scarcity wasn't a choice, it was a brutal rule of nature. Back then, body fat wasn't an aesthetic issue or a reason for frustration in front of the mirror. It was our most valuable life insurance policy, the only barrier between survival and death by starvation. The problem is that while the world has changed and food is now everywhere, your biological software is still running on Stone Age rules. When you subject yourself to chronic stress, whether it's from work deadlines, poor sleep, or ironically, extreme restrictive dieting and over-exercising, your brain's control center, the hypothalamus, goes into shock. It can't tell the difference between a boss screaming at you and a predator hunting you. It doesn't understand that you're cutting calories just to fit into a dress. It interprets the lack of energy and high stress as a clear signal that the environment has become hostile. In response to this red alert, the hypothalamus triggers an emergency hormonal cascade. First, it drastically lowers your basal metabolic rate beamer. It's as if your body enters a low power mode, much like a smartphone at 1% battery. It shuts down non-essential functions like rapid tissue regeneration and that healthy glow of your skin, just to conserve the remaining fuel. On top of that, a dangerous phenomenon called leptin resistance kicks in. Leptin is the hormone that is supposed to tell your brain that you have enough stored fat and can stop eating. But in defense mode, your brain ignores the signal. You feel a constant, ravenous hunger because your body genuinely believes it's starving, even though its fuel tanks are full. This state of cellular hunger creates a scenario where the traditional calorie deficit simply stops working. You could be eating nothing but lettuce and grilled chicken, yet your body becomes absurdly efficient at converting even that tiny bit of food into fat storage. It ignores the math of calories in vs. calories out because your organism's absolute priority has shifted. It stopped caring about your aesthetics and started focusing exclusively on maintaining vital functions like keeping your heart beating and your lungs breathing. Until you convince your nervous system that you are safe and well-fed, it will continue to treat every ounce of fat as a precious treasure that cannot be let go under any circumstances. The first, and perhaps most frustrating, sign that your body has entered defense mode is the appearance of the infamous stress belly, or the accumulation of visceral fat. Unlike subcutaneous fat, the kind right under your skin that you can pinch, visceral fat settles deep inside, wrapping around your vital organs. This isn't a glitch in your system, it's a biological military strategy. When you live in a constant state of high alert, with a racing mind and a body held in tension, your adrenal glands pump cortisol into your bloodstream non-stop. To your body, cortisol is the signal that a war has begun. And where does a soldier need quick fuel to protect the command center? Right in the torso, close to the liver and the heart. Chronic high cortisol levels trigger a process called visceral lipogenesis. Your body actually begins to recruit fat from other areas, like your arms and legs, which often get thinner, and deposits it all in the abdominal region. It's essentially biological armor. But the damage doesn't stop there. Excess cortisol is public enemy number one for your thyroid, the master of your metabolism. It directly interferes with hormonal conversion. Your body produces the T for hormone, but instead of converting it into active T3, which burns fat and gives you energy, the result is a devastating cycle of exhaustion and bloating. You wake up feeling depleted, as if you hadn't slept at all, and throughout the day, you notice your clothes getting tighter around your waist. This is the trap where most women fall. In a desperate attempt to lose that belly, you crank up the workout intensity, do hours of cardio, and slash calories even further. But to a body already in defense mode, intense exercise is interpreted as more stress, more threat. Instead of burning fat, your body responds by becoming even more inflamed. You retain water, your tissues feel dense and sore, and that constant feeling of heaviness takes over. Your body is screaming for safety, but you are giving it more punishment, forcing it to cling to that abdominal fat as if its life depended on it. The second and third signs that your body is operating under a defense strategy are visible in both your energy levels and your skin. Have you ever felt that crushing afternoon slump right after lunch, where the only thing you can think about is taking a nap? Or perhaps you've noticed small skin tags on your neck, or a slight darkening of the skin in areas like your armpits or the back of your neck. These aren't just cosmetic issues or a normal tiredness. They are cries for help from your pancreas, indicating that your insulin levels are constantly spiked. In defense mode, the body develops a sort of selective deafness to insulin, the very hormone that is supposed to usher sugar into your cells to be burned for energy. Why does the body do this? It's both fascinating and terrifying. When the brain detects imminent danger survival mode, it wants sugar to stay circulating in your bloodstream, ready for an immediate fight or flight response. If you had to outrun a predator right now, you'd need that quick glucose. The problem is that in the modern world, your predator is a past due bill or emotional stress, and you aren't exactly running anywhere to burn that energy off. The result? Excess sugar sits in your blood, becoming highly inflammatory, and your pancreas in a panic pumps out even more insulin to try and clean up the mess. This excess insulin is the master signal for storage. It commands every single glucose molecule to be converted and locked away as fat, especially around your midsection. This is where the cycle turns cruel. High insulin is an anabolic storage hormone. As long as it's elevated in your blood, it is physiologically impossible to burn fat. Imagine your fat cell is a vault. Insulin is the guard holding the door shut and bolted. You can kill yourself on the treadmill, but if your insulin doesn't drop, the key to open that vault and use fat for fuel will never be turned. This explains that uncontrollable, almost irrational craving for sweets or carbs at the end of the day. Because your cells are insulin resistant, the sugar isn't actually getting inside them. So, even though you just ate, your cells are technically starving. They send an emergency flare to the brain demanding quick energy sugar. You enter a loop where you eat for energy. The energy doesn't enter the cell, it turns into fat, and you feel hungry and exhausted all over again. You become a storage machine that can't access its own fuel, creating an invisible chemical barrier that no standard diet can break. The fourth and fifth signs that your body is in defense mode are often overlooked or dismissed as just getting older. persistent joint pain, and extreme morning bloating. You know those days when you wake up and your face feels heavy, your eyelids are puffy, and you can barely close your hands or put on a ring? That's not fat you gained overnight. That is your lymphatic system screaming that it's overwhelmed. To understand this, you have to stop seeing fat as just a calorie depot. Modern science has proven that adipose tissue is actually a dynamic endocrine organ and a protective shield. When your body feels attacked by an inflammatory lifestyle, whether from environmental toxins, lack of restorative sleep, or processed foods that your DNA doesn't even recognize, fat steps in to protect you. Fat acts as a buffer or a toxin hijacker. Many harmful substances that your liver can't process immediately are fat-soluble, meaning they hide inside fat molecules so they don't circulate freely and damage your vital organs. If you are inflamed, your body starts recruiting water into the interstitial space, the space between your cells, in a desperate attempt to dilute that toxicity. This is why you feel puffed up, it as a safety maneuver. The body retains fluid to protect your tissues from the acidity and damage caused by the inflammatory cytokines that the diseased fat itself is producing. You aren't just carrying extra weight, you are carrying a chemical damage control system. And here lies the secret that stops your weight loss at this stage. Your body knows that burning that fat right now would be dangerous. Think about it: if fat is trapping toxins and inflammatory byproducts, melting that fat too quickly would release all that sludge into your bloodstream at once. To prevent self-poisoning or an even greater burden on your kidneys and liver, your metabolism locks down fat burning as a matter of biological precaution. It's a sophisticated survival mechanism. This is why, no matter how much sauna time, lymphatic drainage, or diuretics you use, the bloating always comes back. Until the underlying inflammation is addressed and the body feels safe enough to release those wastes, it will hold onto that water and fat exactly where they are, serving as a protective barrier against the internal chaos you haven't resolved yet. The sixth sign that your body has raised its defense shields is hidden within your digestive system and the way your emotions dictate what you put on your plate. There is a constant, silent conversation happening between your brain and your gut, known as the gut-brain axis. When your nervous system detects that you are under constant pressure, it triggers fight or flight mode. In this state, your body prioritizes your muscles and your heart, diverting blood flow away from your digestive system. The result? Sluggish digestion, heartburn, bloating, and most importantly, a profound shift in your gut microbiome, known as dysbiosis. What's both fascinating and terrifying is that, in defense mode, your body selects specific bacteria that are specialists at extracting the maximum amount of calories from every single crumb of food you eat. It's as if your gut installs high-efficiency energy software. Two people could eat the exact same apple, but the one in defense mode will absorb significantly more energy and fat from it than the person who is relaxed. This internal chaos reflects directly in your eating habits. Have you ever wondered why, on those high-stress days, the last thing you want is a salad or grilled fish? Why does your body seem to beg for chocolate, pasta, or fast food? This isn't a lack of discipline. It's pure neurochemistry. When the body feels threatened, serotonin and dopamine levels plummet. Your brain, seeking a quick way to achieve emotional survival and comfort, hijacks your palate. It demands dense, high-fat, high-sugar foods because they offer an immediate dopamine spike, providing a temporary sense of safety and pleasure amidst the chaos. It is a desperate attempt by your organism to balance your nervous system using food as a form of self-medication. If your gut isn't regular, if you're constantly feeling stuffed, and your mood swings like a roller coaster, the message is clear. Your body doesn't feel safe. It senses that the environment is too unstable to afford the luxury of burning off fat reserves. To your brain, letting go of stored energy while you are emotionally fragile would be a fatal risk. As long as your digestive system is an inflammatory battlefield and your mind is seeking relief for chronic anxiety through food, Your body will keep every ounce of fat as an emotional and physical cushion. In this case, weight loss doesn't start in the stomach, it starts with signaling peace to your brain and the bacteria living in your gut. The seventh and final sign that your body is in total defense mode is perhaps the most subtle, yet the most telling: your body temperature. Are you that person who always has ice-cold hands and feet, even when the weather is mild? Or maybe you feel like you need a jacket when everyone else around you is perfectly comfortable. This isn't just a quirk, it is your metabolism lowering your internal thermostat to conserve vital energy. Imagine your body is a house and you're going through a severe financial crisis. What do? You turn off the central heating to save on the electric bill. That is exactly what your organism does when it enters survival mode. It scales back heat production to ensure the remaining energy lasts as long as possible. This phenomenon is directly linked to the hormonal conversion we mentioned earlier. When your metabolism slows down like this, every chemical process in your body drags. Cellular renewal takes longer, your hair might start thinning or falling out, your nails become brittle, and fat burning simply grinds to a halt. At this stage, the most fatal mistake you can make, and the one 99% of women make, is trying to force weight loss by eating less and training harder. For a body that has already turned off the heat due to an energy shortage, cutting calories is like cutting the power to a hospital in the middle of a surgery. Your body won't respond by losing weight. It will respond by entering an even deeper state of panic, gripping onto fat with a desperate force. To reverse this defense state and turn the heat back on, your strategy must be the exact opposite. You need to signal absolute safety to your nervous system. You don't do this through deprivation, but through nutrient abundance. You need nutrient-dense foods that provide the minerals and vitamins your thyroid needs to get back to work. You need truly restorative sleep, where your cortisol actually has a chance to drop and your tissues can regenerate without stress hormones present. Healing a locked metabolism begins the moment you stop fighting your body and start giving it the resources it needs to biologically understand that the famine is over. Only when your brain receives the signal that the environment is safe, that food is plentiful, and that rest is real, will it allow the floodgates to open. From that point on, fat loss stops being an exhausting battle and goes back to what it was meant to be: a natural, fluid, and effortless process. Understanding that your body is actually trying to protect you is a total game changer for weight loss. It allows you to stop the self-blame and finally start addressing the real root cause. If you recognize these signs in yourself, know that it is possible to reset this mechanism and reclaim your metabolic freedom through patience and strategy. Now that you know the truth behind the lockdown, the path to your new body begins with self-care, not punishment. And don't forget the tip I gave you at the beginning. If you need to lose weight, click the link in the video description and get sleep lean right now. It might be exactly what is missing in your journey. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe here to She's Fit, and share this video to help the channel grow. Also, let me know in the comments what kind of content you want to see next to help you on your weight loss journey.